Could you say a few words about how you were at the start of therapy?
Before, everything, it felt like inside, like there's this blackness inside of you that no one else can see.
Could you say how you are now?
I think I'm a lot more confident. I can be more objective. It's just given me a way of putting things in perspective, letting go of things.
Shall we move on to your first piece?
I think when I first came into therapy, I really felt as if I had to perform and another person to make happy and do good things for. And I'd come in and I'd try and be very artistic. Not that I am very artistic, but I would try and be very artistic. And on this particular piece, I came in and I was angry. I didn't want to come in. I didn't want to talk about my feelings. I wanted to clamp down shut. I didn't want to be here, but I felt I had to because this thing had been set up for me, so I kind of had to come. And I made a point of saying that I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this today. And I didn't feel creative. And I drew this house with this little person in the window and these cats and a door with barbed wire around it, and it's almost like it's on fire, but in another way it's almost like it's trying to draw attention to it. Look at it, pay attention to it, this is important. It's almost like my hand that was drawing it was trying to say, look at this, pay attention, but my mouth, my head wasn't speaking, it wasn't telling. Gives me goosebumps looking at that now. It's angry, and that's how I felt as a little girl. I felt angry, but I was silent. But I just drew. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about what I was drawing. I just thought, I'll just draw a house, and And then that was what came out. And that was, I think, the most significant piece that I did, and it was the real turning point in my therapy. And I went back to visit what I thought of in my head as that house, and it made a big difference. It made me able to put things away. And it's not as scary as my memory. Well, this is my lovely, beautiful heart. I made what I thought was a perfect heart out of clay. And it was lovely and perfect and flawless, almost like a baby. And then the following week I wrapped it up in the Hessian sack and I cracked it on the floor and it smashed into loads of little pieces, and then I set about gluing it back together again. And I brought in some bandages from home and a little baby pin from home, and I dyed the bandage and put it back together again. Because things do break, people break, not just hearts. I mean, that's a bit of a cliche, but people break, things break, life breaks. But it can be put together again. It's not irreparable, and it's still wonderful as it is.
What was helpful about art therapy for you?
Just to talk about me, which I wasn't used to doing. It was always about other people. I did find that very difficult. But then when you're able to just spend that little precious hour and feel safe and feel important, what you're saying matters, and that it is significant, that it is worthwhile, and more importantly that you're not being judged. That's the big thing. That's huge, to have a voice but not a verbal one. It was a visual one.
As someone who's had art therapy, what would you say to somebody who is considering art therapy?
When I first came in, it was very new and I didn't know how I was going to feel, and I was in a bit of a state. I was very frightened, very insecure, very tearful, very apprehensive, as I've already said, because when I first came, I don't think I would have lived for much longer. I wouldn't be, in fact I know I wouldn't be alive. I know I wouldn't. And it gave me a life, and that seems dramatic and it seems over the top, but I am telling you, I could not have carried these things around inside of me, inside my head, for any longer. This is a way of getting rid of that feeling inside. Talking is out there, and you've said it, and there's nothing to reflect on either. And every time I look at a piece of art, my first piece, you can see something different in it. And I'm here, and I'm surviving. I'm not surviving, no, I'm not surviving. I am living.